Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Austin. This is Gone in 60, and this is my MK8 Golf R. I've owned the car now for 8-9 months. I've driven it over 6,000 miles. I owe you guys an update. I want to share all of my different thoughts and opinions. It might be very different compared to what other YouTubers out there do. These are my impressions. These are my thoughts. I'm not going to be able to cover everything about the car, good, bad, ugly, all the indifferent. I just want to share maybe my perspective, and it might help some of you who are maybe shopping this car or curious about this car or just want to know what my thoughts are. So guys, stick around. If you're new to my channel, please like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into it. So in no particular order, these are things that I want to go through. The first is just drivability with this car. It's easy, it's quiet, it shifts extremely smooth. The clutch is really light, almost too light. It is a great car to commute around town in. It is a great car to go on road trips in. It is quiet. It is just comfortable. It has a little bit more luxurious feel than other cars that I've owned, especially when comparing it to like the WRX. Road noise, extremely minimal. But just drivability and ease of use with this car. I obviously have my detailing business, and to be able to fold down the rear seats, just make it so easy for me to lug everything around. I will say the trunk area isn't like overly the most generous in terms of like cargo space, but it does a really good job. The technology in the car, I'm gonna do a whole video, don't you guys worry, on the infotainment and all of that, but for me, I like it. I don't have a problem with it, not like a lot of other people out there. There are some things with the technology that I don't like that I'll jump into and dive into. However, for the most part, just ease of use of driving this car has just been an absolute joy. It's so comfortable, it drives itself. I don't have complaints. It's not harsh in terms of, you know, how it drives over bumps and different things. It's really overall just smooth. I've noticed with a lot of the cars, or some of the cars that I've bought over time, you start hearing kind of creaks and cracks and different things as you drive it. It's been really solid. I can't complain. It is just something that I've enjoyed, and yeah, I don't really have anything negative in terms of drivability other than I just wish maybe it was a little bit more rowdy. Something that makes this car very unique, and it's really cool, is it's got a lot of different modes in it, from Nürburgring mode to drift mode, and drift mode actually sends the power to the rear wheels, so it's almost like you have an all-wheel drive car with a bias and front-wheel drive, but when you put it in drift mode, it's like a rear-wheel drive car. So pretty cool, pretty unique. It actually makes it really fun. I wish the car was a little bit more rowdy, but then again, I wouldn't be able to say, hey, it's so smooth, it does this drivability, so you can't get everything that you want, but overall, just super easy to drive. Absolutely no complaints. Now, guys, this might be a little bit different perspective than what you guys are looking for out there. I love detailing cars, so I thought I might go over the paint and what this car is in terms of just cleaning it, taking care of it. The paint, this is the first time I've really dealt with German paint, if that's the right word, or clear coat. I had a ceramic coating that I put on this car. It did not take, it failed, and I think it was due to Armor King just using a cheaper ceramic coating, but it didn't last. It didn't do anything. With this paint, I will tell you, the clear coat is extremely hard, which is great. It can help protect from scratches and that. However, if you do get scratches in it, you might have to wet sand it. You might have to get pretty aggressive, and so it's been interesting. I will say, as my wife's driven the car on the freeway, I have 6-7 rock chips on the front, so I haven't been overly pleased with how easy the chip is painted, but it's been very similar to other cars that I've owned, so I can't complain. I will say that the looks of the car looks awesome, from the wheels to just everything on it. However, let's talk about gloss black. You have a gloss black front grille. That's going to scratch. It scratches. These wheels, you breathe on them, they're going to scratch. The interior of the car is just loaded with this black, piano black finish. I hate it. It scratches. Yes, some of it you can buff, some of it you can take care of, but I've gotten to the point with the wheels, like, you know, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do to not be able to prevent scratching on it. They're just going to scratch. And so overall, though, you can tell that the paint and just the quality of the car, it's good. You know, the paint, I've enjoyed cleaning it, taking good care of it. But really no complaints. Obviously, with the bigger Brembo brakes, it does get the wheels really dirty from brake dust and all of that. But overall, I've enjoyed cleaning it. No really big complaints there. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about how the car does in the snow. I had a chance to take this on a long road trip, and surprisingly, the car does really well in the snow. No surprises there. It's all-wheel drive. One thing I've noticed with the Volkswagen all-wheel drive system is it basically notices what wheel perhaps is slipping, and it sends power to that wheel. But you can see through some of this footage that I drove, it did amazing in the snow, and that's to be expected. I'd say the WRX is better, but overall, the Volkswagen does amazing in the snow. I will say, when it comes to technology, when you're driving it in the snow, the only thing with this car is it's got a lot of sensors on it. Like when you're pulling out of a restaurant, or kind of getting onto the street and you have to go over a curb, it's going to beep at you to notify you that, hey, you're getting really close to something. The sensors in the car from backing out of the garage is really what I've had more issues with. Now, some of these sensors you can turn off. I haven't played with it a ton, but I've had heart attacks coming out of the garage where like the car wants to throw on its brakes because it's noticing something around it. So I will say, as I drove it in the snow, and this is kind of not just necessarily anything unique to Volkswagen, but with the adaptive cruise control, your cruise control goes away because you get a little bit of snow on the front of the car. You're not able to utilize it, or just a lot of warnings and stuff pop up on the car, and I say it's a little bit too much. It's a little bit overkill from a technology standpoint. Overall, the car does amazing in the snow, so I can't complain there. But as you guys are driving this car, it's got so much technology. I mean, you're going to pull out of a restaurant and it's going to beep at you because you're going to get too close to a car or too close to bottoming out on the curb. Maybe some of you like that. For me, I don't need all of that. I do notice sometimes when I shift the car into reverse, the emblem on the Volkswagen, it's really clean. It's such a great design. The emblem kind of folds down, and then you have the rear view camera. And when you go to put it in first gear, sometimes it's still showing me the camera out the back. So in my opinion, sometimes too much tech is too much tech, and I do think this car crosses the line. But the tech I have issues with, or maybe challenges with, you guys are going to be like, well, wait, you don't want to talk about the infotainment. Trust me, I'm going to talk about that in another video. In terms of Hill Start Assist, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, Hill Start Assist is an easier way for those that have a manual transmission to be able to go up a hill. If you guys drive on a manual, you guys know on a hill, especially going up, it's really hard to kind of stop and start. That's the best way to learn if you guys are out there trying to learn how to drive a manual transmission, but it holds the car from falling backwards so you don't hit the car back of you. But my experience is it's holding the brake. It's too strong, and I hate it. It's the worst of any car that I've had, but I get it. They're trying to be safe with it. Drivability, just great all around though. So that's just kind of where, my opinion on some of the Hill Start Assist stuff and some of that kind of impedes the car a little bit. I do notice quite a bit with this car, more than any others. I've had several cars that have had Brembo brakes or large brake calipers. It does squill quite a bit. The brakes squill. I don't know why. I don't have rocks in there. I don't know why. They just tend to squill. But stopping power is really, really good. Miles per gallon, I think if you really baby the car, you're going to do great on it. I've had some road trips where, I've gotten 27 miles per gallon, which is pushing it. It can do above 30, but the car's so fun to drive. It's so fun to get into the turbo. The car is very boost happy, and obviously the more boost you get into, you're getting into more horsepower, you're going to burn, more gas. But The car is so fun to drive. So really, miles per gallon, there's nothing to really talk about. It can be as good or as bad as you want it to be, depending on your driving style. And I'll just leave it at that. But overall, for the power that you get, for having all-wheel drive and fuel economy, this is where it absolutely just trumps the Subaru WRX. I did, on the Subaru WRX, get high 20s. This car, if you really babied it like I did my Subaru, you could probably get mid to upper 30s. I really think that's achievable. But for me, and the RPMs that, I've been running as I go down the freeway, I was getting kind of upper 20s, but that was pretty much without trying. So can definitely do more. The manual transmission is good in this car. The shifter feel is better than the GTIs. It's more solid. If you guys own a GTI, you're going to have the shifter, especially on the MK8s. It's going to pop out. I remember I was test driving one. It popped out. But with the MK8 Golf R, if you guys are wanting to tune the car, get the DSG, get the automatic. It's easier. It's going to be way faster. It'll be much more impressive. Anytime you have a manual transmission car, you want to tune it, you want to throw extra parts on it, you're going to have to upgrade the clutch because the clutch is going to slip. It's not going to be able to hold that power. What I've noticed with a lot of manufacturers, especially turbocharged cars, is when you do add power to them, those clutches are at their max. And this clutch is really light. I could honestly see where you would need a clutch replacement on this car after 50,000 miles. I legitimately could say that just because it feels weak. Now, the WRX was much better than that. But overall, just ease of use, driving it at night with the features, the technology, the ambient lighting. It's kind of a vibe in and of itself. It's really cool. You don't see a lot of Volkswagen Golf Rs on the road, especially in the MK8s. I've really enjoyed the car. I really don't have any complaints to it. There's some weird stuff that manufacturers do, like they do kind of like the velvet inside of the, and I know that's not the right word, just the lining inside of the door pockets is kind of odd. If you spill in there, I'm not a fan of it. Just give me plastic. But overall, I've really enjoyed the car. I've really liked it. I think it's been a great purchase. It's held its value pretty well, considering, I've owned it for almost 9 months, put over 6,000 miles on it, and I have offers around 41 and a half for it. I paid sticker at 46 for it. So overall, it's held its value pretty well, but the market's kind of weird right now, so it's definitely a crazy time to buy. I'm trying to think of any other things that jump out at me with the car. Obviously, you have ventilated seats. Those work great. The heated seats work great. I just don't have a lot of complaints. The Harman Kardon sound system, don't buy it for this. It's okay. I think the MK7s with the Fender sound system was much better. My Harman Kardon in my WRX was much better. The sound system is alright. Sure, they give you ability to kind of adjust and equalize the settings in the stereo, but overall, don't buy the car for the sound system. I remember when I was trying to buy this car, Volkswagen at the time was removing the Harman Kardon sound system out of it due to chip shortage, and it stopped me from buying some. And now looking back, it's really not that worth it. It's okay. So anyways, if you're trying to buy it for that, don't. Obviously, I've seen some people get the Fender sound system out of the MK7s and be able to plug it into the back, and so that might be something that I might do. I've heard it makes quite a bit of a difference, but kind of a letdown that Subaru did that. Apple CarPlay. I have not had a great experience with any car that has Apple CarPlay, wireless CarPlay, in specifically wireless Apple CarPlay. It's wired. The wireless CarPlay in this car sucks. It does. I reach several spots, and it is not sporadic. It's definitely, hey, it does it here, but wireless CarPlay doesn't do great. And I know everybody's gonna say, oh, I don't have problems with it, blah 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 blah. I struggle with it in the car. It's not great. So just be mindful of that. But overall, guys, 6,000 miles, it's held up well. I haven't had any issues that I need to take it in for any recalls. I actually need to get the oil changed in it. I am past due, and I need to go take it into Volkswagen and get the oil changed. But everything appears great. I mean, I haven't had anything that has been, bad enough where I need to take it into the dealer. It's been solid from that standpoint, and it is a great car if you're in the market for it. I do think the car, for what it's priced at, isn't worth it completely, in my opinion. It's a really, really good car. At low 40s, this is, or 40,000, this is a buy all day long. But when you're pushing up 47,000, it's great, but I don't know. I think it's just the market too. There's a lot of cars right now that are they really worth what you get for them. But great car all around, guys. Great daily driver. You can race, you can have fun. It just kind of does everything. Those are my just quick random thoughts, guys. I'm sure I left 8,000 things off of this list, and therefore I'll make other videos. I will continue to talk about the things that, I haven't talked about this. But those are my experiences. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.